Y'all, who's ready for Skyway 2022? I know I am. I am super stoked that this weather, it pushed through Jackson today. I think it's pushing through Alabama and Sylacauga a little bit later this evening. So we'll have like all day tomorrow and Friday for the course to dry out and for us to get out there and pick things up. We have awesome sponsors again this year. We really focus on keeping both our sponsors and our vendors like local and small. Like you'll probably never see us like have big name sponsors, not because we can't get them in, but because we really want to give back to the community. So Good People Brewing of Birmingham, Alabama, providing us post-race libations. Domestique Coffee in Birmingham. We'll have Domestique Coffee for y'all on Saturday morning, and we'll have some podium prizes from Domestique as well. And then FlexFit by John Karrasch. John is world-renowned bike fitter out of Birmingham. He's racing the 100-miler single speed with y'all this weekend too. But he always donates a bike fit, worth $250 or so. John might have to correct me on that. But the biggest thing is all of the raffle tickets for the bike fit that were sold along with registration. Those proceeds go directly to COGS, the cyclists of Greater Sylacauga, Billy Bean and Perry and the crew that build, maintain, and really kind of keep up the trails out there at Lake Howard. So thanks to our partners. We have a few other folks that are out there supporting us as well. Cat Sweat is going to have some of her bars and products available for y'all to pick up at check-in. Our friends from Eupora, if you did any of the Gravel Cup races this year, you probably saw the Schmitz and Jiggles food truck. They're coming all the way over from Eupora to feed y'all after the race this year. And the menu is down in the bottom of this email or posted on Facebook. So we're really excited to have them come over. Just a couple of quick things. One, I've mentioned it in a number of posts. It's in this email. Two of the small bridges coming into Lake Howard on Lake Howard Road have been derated to 3 tons. What does that mean for those of us that can't remember like tonnage conversions or how heavy our vehicles are? Cars, trucks, vans, and very small trailers, y'all are going to be okay. But we've sent out emails to people that plan on bringing long campers, coaches, fifth wheels, stuff like that. We've arranged with Stephen Peters, who is a local in Sylacauga. He's actually building the Green Gable, which is going to be a hiker and biker, event, kind of like hostel down the street, maybe a mile and a half away from the start finish at Lake Howard. He's been grading and spreading gravel for the past couple of weeks to accommodate some of the larger vehicles. And y'all should have that email from us. If you don't, reach out to myself one-on-one and we'll get you taken care of. But don't come rolling down into Lake Howard in a large vehicle this weekend with that unexpected derating of those bridges. Friday night, as usual, we have a potluck sort of cookout for anybody that's coming in the night before. We will have packet pickup from 5 to 7. But we'll have potluck. Billy and the crew, they'll be doing kebabs. And what we ask is everybody just bring something. We did send out a sign-up sheet just so we don't end up with like 100 pounds of potato salad. So everybody kind of brings something different to contribute to that. We have a big inflatable screen with a projector. We're going to be playing some bike movies like Breaking Away and Rad and stuff like that. On Friday night, and trying not to stay up too terribly late, but still having a good time. Saturday morning, so Wendy and I and some of the volunteers will be up bright and early for the 100-milers on Saturday morning with packet pickup starting around 5:30 or so. 5:30 to 6:30, we'll be there for the 100-milers to check in, get their swag, their race bibs, like all of that kind of good stuff. Just like in all of our races, we use handlebar number plates. This one doesn't have it on the back yet, but it'll have a little RFID tag on the back for timing. It will provide zip ties just so you can put it like on, on your handlebar, so it's visible. 100-milers will then start at 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm sorry, 100-milers start at 7 o'clock in the morning, and then we'll reopen, check in for 60-milers, and then the 60-milers will get going around right at 8 o'clock in the morning. We will offer drop bag service, both at the 60-mile turnaround as well as the 100-mile turnaround. So we'll have totes at the check-in that you can put, a gallon Ziploc bag with like your name and your bib number on. 100-milers, you can leave us 2 bags. Like you can leave one in the 60-mile turnaround and for the top of Cheehaw for the 100-mile turnaround. Course marking, as usual, like any turns on gravel roads or gravel to pavement or whatnot, we'll mark with orange and blue stakes with flagging on them. On the single track, almost all of that marking will just be done with caution tape, like blocking off a trail, or if there's like a 4-way, just kind of like splitting it so it's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious where you go. On pavement, like if there's like a pavement to gravel transition or vice versa, we'll put down, I believe we're going to be using yellow paint this weekend, so look for that on the ground. But of course will be marked pretty well as usual, but make sure you load the GPS route on your Garmin or Wahoo or phone or whatever device you use for navigation. There will be 3 aid stations on course. The first one that you'll hit is around mile 21 or so at Bull Gap before you kind of make the turn up to Skyway 1. That aid station is actually being run by the local Kiwanis group in Sylacauga. And note that number 1, that first aid station is water only. There's no drop bags, no food, nothing like that. And number 2, keep in mind that the Kiwanis Club is volunteering for us, so they're not going to be experts at bikes. They're not going to fix your bikes or anything like that. It's really just a neutral water stop put on by the community. The 60-mile turnaround, which is really, I think, around like mile 32, 33, something like that, up on the Skyway. That will be a fully stocked aid station. So Stephen Peters will be the aid station boss at that turnaround. They'll have your drop bags, they'll have food, they'll have water, they'll have bags of Carbo Rocket, probably mixed, pre-mixed into a cooler. So you'll have full service at that aid station. And then for the hundreds at the top of Cheehaw, around mile 54 for y'all, Billy Bean will be up there. And once again, full service. Like he'll have snacks, maybe like a lighter mix of snacks, but your drop bags, water, all that kind of good stuff. One thing that we are doing a little bit differently this year, I know that when Brent had put on Skyway in the past, he used zip ties on the handlebars at the turnaround just to indicate that you made it to the turnaround before coming back. What we're doing this year is we had these little wooden nickels made with the Skyway logo engraved on them. So check in, there will be a volunteer, one of the volunteers at the turnaround, probably with a clipboard and a bag of these, these tokens, kind of checking your name off the list and giving you one of these. So this is kind of like your proof that you've made it to the turnaround and then, got back to Lake Howard. Finishers, don't have them out right now, but finishers also get a sweet finishers patch made by our friends Walter up in Pennsylvania with Falls Creek Outfitters. What else? SAG for Skyway, because there's so much single track and Jeep roads, there's no one sweeping the course. So there's no one out there to rescue you per se. If you are just having a bad day, not feeling it, like get back to an aid station. Either if you're up at the 60-mile turnaround, like get back to Bulls Gap. It's mostly downhill. If you have a medical emergency, call 911. Don't call us if you have a medical emergency. Definitely let us know, but we're not the ones to extricate or evacuate you if you have a medical emergency. Once you get up on the Skyway ridgeline, you have pretty decent cell service. It's just whenever you come off of the Skyway into the trails, the cell service is a little spotty. If you do drop for some reason, not feeling it, medical, mechanical, whatever, definitely let us know. And our number is in the body of this email in a couple of different places. Text us, call us, let us know that you're not finishing, so we're not waiting up all night at Lake Howard for you to get back. Food, beer, awards back at Lake Howard, like all throughout the afternoon. We'll do podiums as podiums fill, so be patient with us. Food will be rolling around noon or so, but they'll be there through the afternoon. If you do end up finishing late, and inevitably there's always some folks that like finish in the dark, I guarantee you we will have cold beer, and it may not be piping hot food, but we'll have food for you whenever you get wrapped up with your ride. Forecast looks pretty amazing for Saturday. The start for the hundreds will probably be around like 45 or so, but it looks like it's going to get up into the 70s, so it's going to be a beautiful day. Folks will probably be shedding layers as the day goes on. One thing to keep in mind is, if you shed layers at an aid station, you can totally leave it with that aid station and they will get it back to Lake Howard, but we can't guarantee like when that's going to get back. Like we'll do our best to get drop bag and dropped layers back to Lake Howard in the afternoon sometimes, like usually around like 4 o'clock or so. But be patient, or be willing to drive to Bulls Gap or wherever you left those layers at to retrieve them. Another thing that we're bringing back this year for all you speed demons is $100 KOM prize for both the 60 and 100 milers, men's and women's. So there's $400 up for grabs at the top of the Bull Gap climb. So it's after you pass that water only aid station around mile 21, and you guys will head up the Skyway. Perry Clark will be up there to capture who the first 100 milers are first thing in the morning, both men's and women's, as well as the 60 milers a little bit later, both men's and women's. So I think that's all I have. We'll have porta potties at Lake Howard, as well as at the top of Cheehaw. Logistically, it's impossible to have porta potties at the 60-mile turnaround. So use nature the best that you can, and can't wait to see y'all. This is one of my favorite races of the year to put on. It's been awesome to see it, kind of slowly grow over the years. And I haven't done a count on like how many states away we have people coming from, but I know our friend Sarah Cooper is coming down from Iowa. There was another guy that I think found out about it through some of the Mayhem CrossFit folks in Cookeville, like through social media or Facebook or something, like coming down from Connecticut. So the word is definitely getting out about our favorite secret little race in the Talladega National Forest. Y'all should you'll get your waivers to sign via DocuSign, like we've done for some of our other races in the past. One thing is, like, if you get that waiver and you're like, I'm not sure if I'm gonna go or not, like just hold on to it until Friday and you're sure you're going to come, because we kind of use that as a secondary check-in method. So if we see that you signed your waiver, we sort of assume that you've checked in and that you're racing. I'm sure there'll be a couple of more things that I'll post about on Facebook, but just wanted to give you guys sort of the big, broad race briefing before Saturday, because whenever we line up in the morning in our 60 and 100 mile groups, I'll just do a much more like abbreviated. So thanks for tuning in, and thanks for supporting the Skyway Epic.